All right, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Getting started here. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good evening.
It's a beautiful Friday night, the last Friday, second to last Friday of the new year.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Last
really
Friday
beautiful?
before Christmas.
We're getting snowed in.
Oh, it's pretty bad by me too. The weather is really bad. It started a little bit earlier, but not so much. It's just freezing, man. It's like 7 degrees outside. What about you? You're snowing?
Oh, yeah. We're taking call-ins tonight.
Absolutely.
We have the link posted in the description.
I wish it auto. Is there a way to have it just like auto go through comments, or do we have to go? What's up, little Stanky?
No.
Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you for the 4th day now in a row. Little delay. It might be you, boy. Let's see if anyone else has a little bit of a delay. Hawk resemblance intensifies. I'm wearing my Christmas shirt. I'll reveal it later in the stream. 23 hours to go from here. Yep. -1 where you are? That's awful. 55 Fahrenheit according to Weather XM. It must be so tough being you, bud. 619 OTA says, dude, that weather is incredible. Drinking the Kentucky Mule because it's the weekend, man. It's the weekend. Patrick,
I was just told to not chew with my mouth open on stream. I'm still waiting for my Red Bull sponsorship.
Nice. The only Red Bull I've had is the normal one.
Oh, they're delicious.
Yes, Void, refresh. All right, the agenda tonight. So there have been some, what are the words? Some progressions with the whole FTX debacle, which we can talk about really quickly. It's kind of just like slow. But this is the type of case you'll definitely see show up in classrooms in the next couple of years. The single greatest amount of money lost in a day in history. FTX for you. But Caroline Ellison, you guys know who that is? Anyone know who that is?
The Grippy Girl.
It's weird when you Google search her, it actually doesn't show her face. But it is Sam Bankman-Fried's ex-girlfriend, founder or main operator of Alameda Research. Anyway, it was tweeted by a Watcher Guru today that she admits to a judge that she and others stole billions of dollars from XCS customers. So it seems like she's going to be the whistleblower in this situation. Even though it's a little too late to blow the whistle, but she's trying to
cutting the deal, and she's going to be testifying against SBF. But
I would say
she's way too deep in herself to actually cut a plea that's going to save her ass.
Yeah, she's blowing more of a flute rather than a whistle because there's a lot of holes in the story.
Funny you say that. Have you ever seen the picture of all that video of her where she's talking about how they use like elementary school math?
Yeah.
She's sitting there in a skirt and her knees are all chapped. Speaking of blowing flutes. I mean, come on. And the bull crap she wrote on her Tumblr or whatever it is about her polyamorous life or whatever the hell that they do. And what was the other one? I guess she said to someone on a hot mic, I bet she don't have the grippy about SBF's new girlfriend. What a klutz. What a bimbo.
How cold is it for you geek of all trades? I'm not sure where you're from, but I mean, it's real cold front in the Northeast right now. Whole north side of the country of the United States. Smoke show 10 out of 10. Yeah. World record for a person posting bail, $250. Wow, $250 million wherever he got that money. Yeah, I was actually so I was at the gym today and doing a little warm up on the bike, and there was Fox News detailing all of the things that he has to comply to in terms of with the bail. He has to stay with his parents, which I think is hilarious. He has, house arrest, all this other stuff.
Yeah, no more orgies for him.
Well, they can still come over to his place. He just can't leave. Nice, Void. You fixed it. The interviews with her are cringe, yes. Well, let's not hate on Palamori. 8 degrees in North Georgia? Oh my goodness.
Dude, I'm going to share what 619OTA just sent me.
That's right, you are from Georgia. You talked about that the other day. I was looking at your shop there.
It's an NFT girl.
What is the name? I can't see it.
It says one beer on the left.
Oh, bag of
shrooms on the right. This is what all the NFT women on Twitter look like.
Yeah. 4 people watching.
People only follow them because they're women.
Come on, guys. Share this.
Post it. Well, then again, even the men who post BS about crypto have more followers than we do. This is a degenerative space. I'm on fire tonight.
I might have some issues with connectivity tonight. My internet is still not functioning correctly in my room. Don't know what's going on with that. Still working on that. Just letting you guys know if there's any stutteredness or any buffering on my end. Show your friends some of this stream link tonight.
Yeah.
Share it. Get some people in here. This is the last stream before Christmas. We're not streaming tomorrow. I'm not streaming tomorrow night. Are you streaming tomorrow night?
No, probably not unless I hop on someone else's stream.
All right. So we can do a lot of things tonight. The whole goal
I have
tonight.
the lineup for topics once you cover what you wanted to.
Oh, really? You got topics. All right. So I was going to say, some people mentioned yesterday that playing possible video games. I downloaded some games. We could do that. We could play together. We could do a whole bunch of. It doesn't sound right when I say it.
Watch me rage quit.
Yeah. No, let's say like the viewers and us, like we could all interact. That'd be something cool. I know in Discord
that's a great plan.
In Discord, there's actually games now where if we're in a voice call, everyone can play, and no one needs to have a mic or a camera. You just gotta be active in the game. So there's like some game, Black Shack, I think. And then I also have my coin collection that some people did say they wanted to see. I could postpone that.
Put my food away here, so I'm not tempted to eat on cam, and then we'll get to some of the topics.
All right. So if you guys are just now joining us, this is the last stream for Christmas. So what do you guys want for Christmas? I mean, that's a good idea. We talked about New Year's resolutions the other day. A lot of you guys want to work on either focusing on crypto less or more and just making like better financial decisions. And I think we've all learned from the mistakes of this past 2 years, I would say. Or Walking says Chris does have cool coins. I've seen a few. Low Stanky, you want gains? You got to go to the gym. You got to keep going to the gym. You got to get a consistent schedule. I've been doing that for the past like 4 years. Something like that. 5 years? I don't know. LOL indeed. Yeah, I got some pretty interesting coins. I think it's really cool. I got some that are like every single person that has ever touched it has died. Like every person from designing it to manufacturing it to distributing it is no longer alive, and that's just is really interesting for me. I have the RebelFi and the Block Create on their way. I'm pretty sure. I gotta double check with those people, but I should have those by the end of next week. Hopefully, depends on shipping. I know Christmas kind of throws off shipping estimates completely, so not sure when those are actually going to come in. Still working on possibly getting the what was I going to say? Oh, the M4 from SenseCap, the Flux / possible helium miner, which would be interesting to get.
Did they reach out to you?
No, I still haven't heard back from them. But thankfully, Durka, I've been talking to him, and he's been giving me some tips about setting it up on a Raspberry Pi with the Flux on the SenseCap. So might be doing that. He showed me how to wire up the fan, which was the biggest issue that I actually had, and I didn't look into it, but thankfully he helped me out. So I just need an SD card and a external SSD Blanco's Block Party is a decent game where you win NFTs for free. Should also be on console at some point. Is that a Steam game? Or if you could let me know what platform that's on. Is it a Epic Games or something like that? Patrick Murphy, your goals are to buy low. That's what you want for Christmas. Isn't that true about everything? At some point in time, yeah. Yes. Crypto Craig, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Hope you had a good day. Haven't seen you in 24 hours. My New Year's resolution is to make empty promises. I swear I'll hold true to this one. Oh, to stop making empty promises. That's funny.
So I'll share my screen here and we'll talk a little bit. Crypto Craig, thanks for joining us. Oh, we'll do a roll call real quick. Automatic Beats, Patrick Murphy, 619 OTA, Void Walking, Lil Stanky, Tracker. Thanks for being here tonight with us. Now, there's two topics in particular. One, we're going to read a Twitter thread from CZ. I think there's some good stuff in it. Yeah. And I also want to cover, I wanted to make a video earlier on today, but I slept most of the day away, so I didn't make it. But talk about projects that I'm following particularly, and let's say I had money to invest, hypothetically speaking, what I would actually buy into and what projects I'm looking at, what parts of the market I'm looking at and scoping out. And during the stream, I don't necessarily want to make it about investing so much as rather than I want to talk about why these make sense as projects to put money into, and from a tech standpoint. Anyways, as always, nothing in the stream is financial advice. Be sure to consult with a trusted professional before acting on any of the information that you hear here in the stream. Maddie B, thanks. I appreciate that.
Oh, I'll show my. Well, I'll wait till we go back to let's get into this. And I'll show my shirt. It's a Christmas favorite.
Show us your shirt.
No, I'll wait till after we go through this, so it gives people a reason to stay.
CZ writes, why do people FUD about Binance? A few non-exhaustive reasons. Thread 1 of 98. Typo /1 of 9. So 1 of 9 threads. Okay. Some in our industry hate centralization. Regardless, if a centralized exchange helps with crypto adoption at a faster rate, they just hate centralized exchanges. Everyone is allowed to hold their views and voice their opinions. Nothing wrong with that. I believe that's a legitimate point to be made. Some lose money on trading or experience other issues, may blame and attack us. Not all cases have black and white right or wrongs. Example given. A user who can't access Binance for a while because his own router had issues or may be hard to diagnose or prove, even though no one else had problems during that time, and our system monitor shows no queues, no overload in traffic, and no spikes in, customer service cases, which that once again, I believe, falls true for corner cases with people who they have their own issue and they instead blame it on whatever system they're trying to access. 3, some industry players view Binance as competition. We have seen some go to extraordinary lengths to lobby against us, or loaning sums of money to small media that's worth many times the media outlet's market value, including buying their CEOs' houses, etc. 4, per above, some media gets paid to FUD us. Fear stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Some are entirely owned by a competitor. Some may wrongly think that we cut off their funding sources. We didn't. They failed on their own and blame us regardless of how illegitimate their funding sources may have been. 5, crypto may not reach mass adoption yet, probably less than 5% globally. Many people are still skeptical about crypto. Some media have leaderships that are more traditional and will tend to align with their views. Nothing wrong with that. 6, same goes for politicians, policymakers, etc. Not all of them are cutting edge progressive. Being conservative is not wrong. I have met leaders who want to protect their banks instead of disrupting them with crypto. I personally hold the opposite view, of course. I think the best way to protect banks from disruption is to let them adopt blockchain technologies as early as possible. Again, I could be wrong here. 7. And then there are generalizations. If one centralized exchange is bad, then all the other centralized exchanges must be bad too, especially if they liked a centralized exchange before who later turned out to be bad. Then they must hate the centralized exchanges with a stronger vengeance. 8. There may be a tiny number of people who are jealous or are playing races against Chinese-looking Canadians. Who knows? We don't care. 9. Size. Writing about Binance gets you more clicks. If you write about a small exchange, you get less clicks. Size has pros and cons. Most of the above have no absolute rights or wrongs. It's just how our world is. We only need to recognize and understand it. We are not perfect. We welcome feedback, but ignore FUD. We focus on building our own products with your support. Merry Christmas. So, in the comments, let us know what you think on that subject. I think there are a lot of legitimate points to be made, but we really don't know the entirety of the story just yet. Until we see a one-for-one proof of reserves, I'm not sure. Not really sure that we entirely know how it's going to play out with Binance, Coinbase, or many of the other ones.
Now, here's what.
Go ahead.
I see this exactly how you would see most corporations trying to do some environmental, trying to get ahead of the environmental curve with zero emissions before there's regulation in place, just so that they're viewed better. And it's also going to push other companies to maybe want to do it. But basically, they want to get ahead of the law so that they don't have to do it. They don't have to be forced to do it, and that they can do it at their own pace. And if they come to a reasonable carbon footprint or whatever before the law is set into place, then they might ease up on them in terms of the regulation. So I think what's happening right now with Binance is they're trying to get ahead of the curve because they know that regulation is coming. It really needs to come. So having their proof of reserve is just another way for them to get ahead of the curve a little bit. And I think the best way for this to happen, from my perspective, is probably an amendment to the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, which came after the Enron bankruptcy in the early 2000s. I think adding something to include crypto companies in the U.S. would help this greatly. Now, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act does only tell publicly traded companies that they need to have fully submitted financial reports, the whole 9 yards. You got your balance sheet and all this stuff, income statement, but they need to report all that stuff. So the issue with these cryptocurrency companies is not only are they not seen in the eyes of the government as a real exchange, but also they're not public, so they don't have to report anything. I think an amendment to the Sarbanes-Oxley would be something, in my opinion, that'll help.
Good point. Now, another one that I want to talk about just in general are projects that I'm looking at. It's a question I've been asked, for my entirety of the coins that I'm buying, the projects I'm participating in, what I think is good and reasonable. And so I base my I don't know what you'd want to call it, strategy on my background as a network engineer from the tech standpoint, but also from, I guess, community standpoint, what I hear being a YouTuber, interacting with other YouTubers, hearing what my audience has to say, and really what comes through. All of us, whether we realize it or not, we have an echo chamber of our own. And where Chris and I are at with it, where it's very similar in terms of the community and what we see. Maybe a little bit different for Chris because he participates more in GPU mining, but typically the same projects, come across our desk, and we have similar viewers, interact with similar people, where someone like, in the GPU mining community, completely different thought process. And some of the bigger YouTubers, they see things in a totally different light. So that's one way of looking at it. And also, with a lot of these projects, I'm going based on what I understand. I'm not going based on a spreadsheet where I've calculated the entirety of how the accounting and market works and looking on past trends. I'm going, you know, I guess it's my intuition on past trends plus how I think this is going to play out. Now, full disclaimer, my intuition is completely different than many others, and I'd say it's completely different than the majority of others. And in a lot of cases, even though I may be right from a tech standpoint, it's hard for me to catch trends. Like, for example, meme coins. I suck at that. It's like the complete antithesis of my understanding of crypto. So I tend to miss out on those types of opportunities. So if I was to divide up my portfolio, let's say I had 10 grand to invest, hypothetically speaking, because I don't, but I would put it primarily at least 50% in layer one blockchains with
Absolutely
solid solutions. So moderate, I'm going with moderate risk here, not low risk, not high risk, but in the middle. And maybe that's more risky for others than it occurs to me. However, that's my standpoint on it. So, of course, out of that 50%, probably 20 would go between BTC and LTC because they've stood the test of time. They're proven solutions. They are at the forefront of the ecosystem, especially when it comes to mainstream spending where crypto is allowed. And I don't think there's a whole lot we need to say there. Now, are you going to see those massive 10x returns? Not necessarily. I don't think so. But in either case. However, you will see a significant increase. Yes, Chris, what's going on?
I gotta go to the bathroom. My leg is bleeding a lot. I'll be back in a second.
Okay. So with that being said, so 20% probably allocated, 10 and 10 between BTC and LTC. And then some of the other layer ones I'm looking at, Caspa, and you could get this dirt cheap. Granted, large max supply. However, I think we're just seeing the beginning of Caspa. It's an excellent solution, and it's a fairly new coin. Now, do we have to explain the difference between coins and tokens? Coins, they have a native blockchain. That's what you're rewarded with when you mine a blockchain, when you participate in the consensus algorithm that is deciding what are legitimate blocks and transactions, what's not. Tokens live on that blockchain. So anyone can mint a token on a blockchain. You can create tokens on Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, etc. And those would be usually divvied out per smart contract. Now, Caspa, they have massive transaction throughput ability. I think it's an excellent solution. They have the Ghost DAG protocol, and I think there's a lot of promising things to come from Caspa. Someone writes, Caspa is the fastest proof of work, energy efficient, mineable coin in existence while still remaining 100% decentralized. Block DAG architecture allows parallel block processing and enables effective solo mining, even at lower hash rates. And look, I wouldn't necessarily take all this at face value that you see written on the internet. Even, I try to be as honest and get you guys factual information, but it's very hard to do so. It takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of vetting these different cryptocurrencies to bring that information for you. So you have to look, 3 or 4 layers deep to actually get the truth on the different cryptos in the ecosystem. So, like I said, if we're dividing up my portfolio, putting in 10 grand, 10% Bitcoin, 10% Litecoin, I'd probably put 10% in Caspa. Cardano, another one I like, probably gets another 10%. And They're also a blockchain, different architecture than pretty much any other blockchain. I think what they're doing is it's an awesome product. It's an awesome solution. They have that transactional throughput. They have that scalability, and they have the developers behind them. One of the developers was one of the most referenced in the Satoshi Nakamoto white paper. So also fairly new coin, so to speak. It's been around for a few years, been around in development for a few years, but relatively speaking, that's very young in the crypto space. So I think we're going to see a lot of projects being developed on Kadena because of their architecture, where it works similar to a relational database on a blockchain, and the smart contracts live at layer 1 of that blockchain. Like I said, allocate another 10% there. Hedera, another great. You would consider this a public ledger rather than a blockchain, and its hash graph is the algorithm that they're using. So it's just consistently plotting these hashes rather than what we're doing here.
What's happening?
I'm trying to change some of the background music.
Oh,
That's loud. Excuse me. So, anyways, Hedera, I think this is going to be largely used in corporate infrastructure for people looking to utilize a public ledger or this type of solution. And they have the engineering team. They have a lot of, Fortune 500 types sitting on their foundation board. I think it's a solid solution. Once again, relatively young in age. Total supply of 50 billion tokens. So there is some money to be made here, in my opinion, just by buying in and holding, whether it be short-term, long-term. Now, those are, like I said, that'd probably be the first 50% of my portfolio. The other, I'd probably allocate another 10% to something like Flux. Now, this is where we start to get into other types of solutions. Now, disclaimer, I haven't necessarily looked too deep into some of the other layer 1 blockchain, specifically the proof of stake ones. There's more research to be done on my part, but I'm just not going to present something I don't feel comfortable talking about, right? So there are plenty of other good solutions when it comes to layer 1, layer 2 solutions here. However, I'm just picking for my favorites, and once again, all of
how much are you allocating to H&T, Joe?
1%.
Actually, that's the issue. Like, if you said you had $10,000, me personally, I would probably try and split it up into as many currencies as I could, just because there's going to be one that's going to take off. One I know for sure that has Dogecoin. Red Panda Mining was talking about this the other day on a stream, but Dogecoin and Bitcoin trend similarly, and Dogecoin is 100% going to pump again because of its memeage, and you have a higher return when you own 10,000 Dogecoin versus when you own 0.5 Bitcoin, just because you have more of the actual token. So I think I'd put a majority, not a majority. I would put maybe $500 into each crypto project if I had 10 grand. So that's a total of 20 projects. And then I might divvy some up. Like if it's a project like Flux, where I already have some, I might only add 200 or something. 300 in.
What is going on here?
Are you clicking stuff, or is it just
No, it might be me.
All right.
I don't know.
It's the
One of
goat.
us has a faulty internet connection,
It's probably me.
or it could be StreamYard.
That's
How
true.
is the stream for all of you in the audience?
Yes. Are there any
But
breakups?
Chris, that's an excellent point, and that is an excellent strategy, in my opinion. And I was actually about to say, um, part of my strategy would be dividing up between. I have at least 20 cryptocurrencies between my actual investment list and my watch list.
Oh man, I probably have like 100.
But I'm trying to stay fairly principled in what I'm buying. But all crypto, all blockchain, this is all code, right? It's all code on a blockchain, and code can fail.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that
looking
being,
up right now. I
that
have
being
some.
said, I think it's fairly wise to be diversified in your buyings. But you have to understand that anything can just go bust at any time. There's hacks that happen. There's rug pulls, whether they be intentional or unintentional. So projects just end up being scams. Development teams, they might have a coup. They might all just say, "All right, I'm done. I've had enough. This isn't working. None of us are getting along. We're out." Someone throws away the key. That's it. No longer any more development. There's venture capital behind some of these projects. There's management behind some of these projects. You don't really know what is going on in those backroom discussions. Chris, was there something you wanted to present here?
Yeah. I just wanted to show like my Wait, what would happen if I press add to stream? Oh, okay, it just takes yours off. I wanted to show like some of the coins that I bought into that were just kind of stupid. But it was during the bull run, and some of these I got for free. So like Gitcoin, I actually got that from Voscoin. I had to spend I think like $20 and subscribe one time to him on a Gitcoin website, which I believe is from the creators of GitHub. So that was pretty interesting to me because I use GitHub all the time. Pretty much every time I've gotten an open source device or software, it's always sourced on GitHub. So that was pretty cool. And that went all the way up to like $300 at one point with the amount that I had. But a lot of these that I purchased were mostly me going on CoinMarketCap. And it could also have been Coinbase doing their learn and earn options where you answer like 3 questions, they give you like $2 in the coin. But I would go into CoinMarketCap and usually either
They still
sort
have
by
that
like,
going on.
yeah, they do. I made quite a bit off of that from getting like Matic, I believe I got earlier. They did a whole bunch, but I would go to recently added and sort by 24 hours. And like originally, sometimes I would buy into one of these that were like exploding $728,000, market cap. And I did that, and you can actually see it's all the ones that are at the bottom because they all failed. So I bought this one called Cat Girl, which I think was some like hentai or anime thing. It was
Send it to me.
yeah. Chess, STKK, and PMON. And some of these I also got. The benefit of being on Binance and using PancakeSwap is that they have the liquidity pairs and the yield staking. So I could stake the cake token and earn tokens. So I earned PMON as one of them, and this was worth a couple bucks, but I never sold
I'll
it.
be back in one moment.
All right. I earned C98. I earned Ample, Ramp, NFTB. I think I bought 1inch. VBS Swap I got. Bryce I got. 80 Anchor I got. ADA I got these all just from staking on that platform. And then I got on, I think I forget what these stand for, but I got ONT through the PancakeSwap program. Vidya I bought. I forget how I heard about that. It's some video game type thing. I bought, and then you know how Ethereum is. Pretty cool stuff. Let's catch up on the chat here. Putting all 10K into Crypto Zoo. When Hatch and OTA, why not save the kids? And I heard he donated all that to FTX. real quick, let's go full screen here. I want to let you guys know, after the conversation we had yesterday, I did set up memberships. You guys don't have to subscribe to them, but can you let me know if it shows up when you click? It should say with the $sign, click show support. I think that's where you can sign up. I'm not sure if it's set up or not. I guess I would have to refresh my stream maybe, but I just want to know if it's working on your guys' end. I'm not sure what else I have to wait for. Maybe not. Maybe it's not working. Hey, Chris, did you ever get the helium on CoinMarketCap on the Learn and Earn? You know what? It's interesting you say that, Ernie. I actually tried to do that on CoinMarketCap because that went through Binance and it never worked for me. I did it on Binance.com and Binance.us because that was kind of when I could still use my Binance.com account, and they never sent me any of it. I filled it out for a ton of projects. I think I filled it out for, I can't even remember the amount that I filled it out. I think they gave me email confirmations, but it kind of bums me out that I never got any of that. Did you ever get any, Ernie? Maybe I did and I just didn't notice, but it should have. I never got any, deposit success or anything. I always had those emails turned on. So I don't know.
Jules writes, I think they dumped H&T Earn. So another one I wanted to talk about, and this went from being my favorite crypto project to my watch list. And I actually thought about participating in this because I have a location that would, fare pretty well, I think. However, there are complications, and this is what you end up learning as you go along in the crypto space, and you come to recognize these trends, and you'll have to rethink some of these opportunities. And Althea was definitely one of them. I've been watching this project for about a year now, and the whole point of it is, let's say I have some good real estate, I have a good location, and the building that I have access to is 100 feet high in southwest Chicago suburbs, that you could basically beam internet from this location to pretty much like a 50-mile radius fairly easily. And that's the essence of the Althea project. Now, this isn't the first time this has been done. There are what they call ISPs in a box, where you can basically resell internet connectivity to your neighbor. And because of the way the internet protocol works, because of the way you're able to set up networks, this is feasible. This is something that's doable, where if you were to do bandwidth sharing, so let's say we do a point-to-point shot from one location to another, and then I want to set up a switch and run fiber optic or Cat 6 cable to my neighbors and further resell bandwidth. That can be done, and that is currently done with other systems with fiat. And they have these protocols, these routing protocols, that allow you to measure the bandwidth and do like a shortest path first, or path of least cost back to the gateway that provides that connectivity to the internet. So this is what you'd be doing with Althea. And a little bit of background on this specific project. The way it works is, even though you're providing internet connectivity, let's say you buy a circuit that is available for resale to neighbors, to everyone else as a business, what it's going to do is, there's still a router that's hosted in a data center somewhere. There will be numerous, and you get those wireless shots or whatever it may be. If you even want to do like physical connectivity, like I said, through fiber, Cat 6 cable, and all that traffic between the customer, which is you, and all the neighbors, that's encrypted through that router, goes over those over those connections, hits that edge router to the internet. It's still encrypted back to the data center, and then exits within the data center router, so the one who's providing connectivity, and they're responsible for some aspects of basically traffic monitoring. So to make sure you're not participating in illegal activities on the internet, they have to monitor what you're actually they have to log in certain instances what you're visiting by law. So that offloads legality in some of the harder services. So monitoring, setting up with the NAT, and IPsec tunneling, um, divvying out those public IP addresses to you anyway. So you can understand the foundation of this product now. And that being said, you did not have to utilize any specific cryptocurrency. You could have picked, there were a few that were not stable coins, or you could have used stable coins for the, I guess you'd call it a metro land that you were setting up, right? But for payments between you and your neighbors, those who you're providing coverage to. This was full internet connectivity. This is nothing like Helium or Things IX or some of the other ones you hear about. What ended up being a major turnoff to me in this, look, you can do this with fiat currency, you can do this with stable coins, you can do this with regular crypto. You don't need blockchain. You don't need a native token to the project to make this come to fruition. And when they started talking about introducing a native token and a blockchain provided by Althea to this project, that was an immediate red flag for me. Why is that? Well, like I said before, you don't need all of that for this project to actually work. I mean, you don't need crypto for this project to work. You could use fiat, but it's nice to have an option here to utilize crypto. You don't need a blockchain when you have all these other blockchain solutions to utilize. And blockchain, as we've seen, is, as of this moment, one of the hardest things to develop, if not the hardest thing to develop and maintain. It is a time sink. It is a resource sink. All the finely tuned aspects of blockchain are very hard to maintain. And when you have a massive operation like this going on, and then now you're going to add that overhead to the team, and I'm not entirely sure of the funding, but I don't think they have any venture capital investors. But even with that, how much more time it takes to progress when you have your own native blockchain, that could become problematic, rather than just developing on a layer one solution that already exists, which as of right now, there are many. Also, then I started looking at what their blockchain architecture would look like. And we get into something called fate sharing. And I've brought all this up in their Discord to them, and I've not really received an answer that was reassuring. It was more along the lines, we've taken this into account, but however, they're saying that their blockchain is going to be run on their routers natively, the software that they're incorporating into their data center and routers. That's problematic for numerous reasons here, but I would say the reason that is because, like I said, it's called fate sharing, where if someone's trying to do a distributed denial of service on your blockchain, that's also doing a distributed denial of service on your infrastructure. If your blockchain ends up running into problems, if you have high CPU utilization, it's that same router that is hosting traffic going across your infrastructure. You're looking at some downtime, especially if you need to reboot those validators that are homed on the router. That's an issue. I don't know if Maddie is trying to be funny, or if that's another troll here.
Maddie B says it's so cold. The dog, they're trying to make the dog go to the bathroom in the toilet. It's pretty funny.
That's hilarious. You can train cats to do that.
Yeah, dude, it's like it's so disgustingly cold.
Okay.
I don't. Okay.
Back to what I was saying. When those issues present themselves, it comes down to you have to be realistic about your further beliefs and how much you want to actually invest into that project. I can't say I'm as optimistic as I was because of that. Now maybe they have a chance to prove me wrong, but like being objective here, it doesn't make sense to me that they would introduce that type of overhead and that type of issue into their already limited infrastructure. So that is one of my first lessons learned.
Appreciate the listening in.
We want to talk about the data-centric infrastructure next, or we want to talk about IoT?
Up to you. I mean, how many times have we talked about IoT?
We can make it short.
Yeah,
but we will talk about IoT in that case, and I'm sure Jules will have some to interject here. We were just talking about HNT. Now, I think helium itself was an extraordinary idea. We're talking about TIPINs, token incentivized public infrastructure networks, where it's not just limited to physical infrastructure, right? You can talk about things like Streamer, WeatherXM, Hive Mapper, Demo. Here's another one I was thinking of here, but like GeoNet, Foam, etc. There's a lot that falls under that category. You know, Althea would be one of them as well. But we've talked about helium before, and we're going to add Jules in here, and he can give us his input.
Awesome.
Jules, if you'd like to tell us how you feel about helium, because I know you're probably going to say the exact words that I'm about to say.
Oh, mate, it just had so much potential, so much momentum, but I just don't know what they're thinking. They got too arrogant, I think, and the same issues that people like Luna had. Yeah, where people get too arrogant, too cocky, and just piss it all away.
Yeah. So even though there could be massive amounts of potential in a project, you still have to rely on management. You still have to rely on developers. You still have to rely on their public relations and advertising, and make sure all that's being run in essence like a company should be run. And that can certainly fall through. Now, IoT is a massive economy unto itself, and projected to be even bigger over the next decade. I think what we're doing here in the crypto space has that potential to take a piece of that economy. Do you see that similarly, Jules?
Absolutely, and look, I think it's I think it's too late for helium now, to be honest. Given what they've done, especially to the in Australia and New Zealand, I don't think there's going to be many that will come back. Worldwide, maybe they can turn it around if they have a massive change in their I don't think Solana's going to be their savior, to be honest. But if they have a massive change of heart, maybe they can win back some of the overseas regions. But yeah, they've certainly done their dash here in Australia.
Yeah. So it's been something I believe in, and talking about LoRaWAN and just my perspective as a network engineer, there is a turnaround time, not only to get the word out about these networks availability, but to bring in the trust, because this is a crowd-hosted infrastructure. It's not something that companies are used to building on. And when you're talking about 1,000th of a cent prices for a small data transfer, the everyday person just building a couple devices on this is not going to make an impact on the price when it comes to that helium flywheel or equilibrium, whatever you like to call it. However, companies building out a massive product for an everyday consumer where it's just transparent, they don't realize they're actually using one of these tip-in networks. I think that is what is actually profitable in the sense of, well, I don't want to say profitable because that wouldn't be the correct terminology, but would move the meter when it comes to actual data usage and value pumped into that system because of the utilization.
100%. And helium, for example, had that opportunity here in Australia for Sydney. I won't mention the name of the organisation, but it's a government associated organisation that wanted 1.5 million sensors. They pissed that away
It is massive.
by making stupid comments, by making stupid decisions. They just gave it away. So and that would have been a snowball for other big projects across the country. The decisions they've made have just been, shooting themselves in the foot one after the other.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, the reasons that it's going to take a turnaround time, which the general crypto bros on here, the yahoos who showed up yesterday, now they're experts in the entirety of the field. They're going to tell you it's a network with no utilization, right? So you have these companies have to understand this options available, have to realize that the crowdsourced infrastructure is reliable, and that there's going to be some sort of service level agreements provided by the developers, which we don't get with helium, right? And there also has to be lost my train of thought here. They have to be used to the fact that this is a crypto network. Not everyone trusts it, specifically because we don't have any regulation as of yet in this industry. So after the first wave of regulation, once these companies warm up to the fact that crypto is here to stay, we're not going to see this massive regulation overhaul that's going to entirely kill the ecosystem, then they can start provisioning resources to build on it, which is once again another good amount of turnaround times, months testing the network, building on the network, investing in these devices, these business ideas that they believe can be effective on these types of networks.
And that's exactly right. I've worked for technology. I've run technology companies, and any CIO that's going to look at a technology company to provide a solution is going to want to see the proven track record for your development procedures, your implementation procedures, your testing procedures. None of this stuff Helium does. They don't document their production before they do it. They just go ahead, throw something out there half-assed and no testing, and when there's bad results, they don't care. There's no company in the world that's going to rely on their infrastructure, their technology infrastructure on a project like that. It's never going to happen.
Yes, point taken, certainly. And then you see the addition of the Helium 5G, right? Which now that's taken away additionally resources from the team developing on IoT, which isn't completely finished. Other stuff like the whole HIP 51 sub-DAO vote, where you heard it here first. It would be a PR disaster, which it was. Subsequently, I got blamed for it. I was the one spreading that FUD, as
Of
they
course.
say. Yeah,
there's always an excuse.
That's the thing about being a YouTuber. You're the fall guy, even if you're right and you call it. It's your influence that tanked the project.
Of course.
But no, I was blamed for Voscoin's opinion. So, that being said, when you say that you're going to attempt to rival these telecoms with this crypto carrier in the 5G space, and you feel you leave the helium, the IoT side, you feel you allow them to feel as though they've been abandoned. There's going to be a lot of infrastructure that's repurposed now, whether it be repurposed because those are just general Raspberry Pi units, they want to stand something up else like Flux, or they decide to go to another network. You're going to have that happen. And what I think happened with Helium is that they were new to the crypto space. They did not realize that people are here to turn a profit. The rage and the mania that just poured into the system. They weren't ready for it to begin with, and I really cannot fault them for that necessarily. But they didn't read the writing on the wall. They didn't connect with the minor community, realizing that if we don't garner some type of loyalty from these people, that they're going to go elsewhere. If they don't believe, and look, I think certain leadership in that organization makes comments by the fly of their seat, and they don't realize how bad that echoes throughout the community and leaves people feeling abandoned, brings a sense of mistrust.
It's pure arrogance. It's that's what it is. It's just the arrogance to, they don't care what the people who built the network think. They just, if you don't like it, go somewhere else, and that's what's happening. They're going somewhere else.
Yep. So, speaking of going somewhere else, I believe you and the angry Aussies, and I only say that affectionately, but
Angry Aussie assholes.
you guys are scoping out things IX, and
Absolutely.
they did recently have an announcement that conversion of different devices would end up being the path forward that's available as of right now. And you don't necessarily have to have a Raspberry Pi. If you have a $150 gateway that's programmable to be utilized on the Things IX network, you can purpose it for that. And I think that is an incredibly strong point, because if you have something like a Raspberry Pi, well, when I get done mining Things IX, I can repurpose it for whatever else I want to do with it.
That's
and
right.
say, all right, I'm done with this network, screw the coverage. But if you're using just a basic LoRaWAN gateway, and most people are going to go with the cheapest option possible, maybe the most effective option in some cases, but usually the cheapest, that is, you really can't repurpose those unless you're going to another LoRaWAN network. And there's not many when it comes to the requirements here. So I think that is an incredible idea, and it's going to be it's going to alleviate some of the issues that we just mentioned as of people leaving the network. Now, the mapping portion, I haven't read in deep enough into the mapping. Will it be allowed to be? Are they going to have their own proprietary secure mappers, or are you going to be able to utilize just about any device here?
I think, as I understand it, that's still being explored. So they're looking at a few different options there. I mean, the thing I've been impressed with is they seem to have learned all the lessons that Helium, all the screw ups that Helium made. They seem to have learned from that. They seem to be a lot more approachable, a lot more willing to discuss and take things on board, rather than we know everything. You guys just shut up and do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, look, I think it's looking promising. I mean, we've got a bunch of guys already running on their network and testing and using the repurposed Helium hotspots to do so. And you can purchase a standard hotspot and just plug it straight in. There's no BS that that the Helium had with the overpriced hotspots that you had to buy through them. So look, it's looking good. I think it's definitely giving us an option.
Well, Stanky, it certainly seems like that. Now, I'm going to present another alternative in a little bit that I tend to like. I think they have a lot of great ideas as well. And I've talked to the head developer. I think the way he's laid it out to me has been good thus far. But as always, talk is cheap. Everyone says a lot. So we have to watch this closely as time progresses. Paradigm Tech writes, I always thought Jules was Neil from Rack.
I don't know, Neil, so I don't know if it's a compliment or an insult or or otherwise.
The device is more than HNT miner. Are you referring to the Raspberry Pi? Or what exactly is that, little Stinky? So, real quick, when it comes to mapping, and this is one of the things that we've learned from Pollen Mobile, one of the open 5G carriers, all right? It's really 4G CBRS. However, you have two issues with the mapping. So things IX rather than doing proof of coverage where two devices interact with each other, and by sending their, you could call it keep alives, by sending what would be considered a hello message in terms like routing and switching. It's basically a device just sends out a message once every so often saying, I'm still online, and that's what rewards are calculated off in the Helium system. That is different, where that goes away, and with something like Things IX and Pollen Mobile, if you use a device, you're proving that it's online, proving the coverage of that hotspot, and that both the mapper and the hotspot are rewarded. So two issues that we've seen thus far is, one, people go out of their way to spoof that information if it's not a secure mapper. The other one being in terms of tokenomics, where if you don't, if the incentives are not drawn upright, you end up with a disproportionate amount of mappers. I think this is more of a Pollen Mobile issue because the CBRS devices are fairly more expensive. All right, are fairly more expensive than the actual mapping devices. So you have a lot of mappers without a lot of infrastructure being provided, and that screws up the earnings for the ecosystem overall. But basically stops really. You don't have a lot of people contributing to the infrastructure, just trying to grift with the tokens. So back to what I was saying here. Things IX, we'll see how that plays out. That's still in development. But if you do want to repurpose a Helium hotspot, or you want to buy a device, it's all going to be open source. A lot of this is going to be do it yourself. There's not going to be like the ECC secure chips, at least as of right now, that were needed to create a Helium hotspot. Anything you want to add there, Jules?
No, that sums it up. And one of the big things is it's gonna be a lot harder to game, which is a big problem that Helium has. Is there's so much gaming, and without getting into all the who's gaming and that kind of stuff, because there's a lot of I'll say evidence that that was done at pretty high levels. But anyway, look, yeah, you've got things like China, where 80% of the hotspots there have been caught gaming. I mean, the gaming on Helium is just ridiculous, and it hurts the guys that are investing. So, yeah, if we can eliminate the gaming, or at least minimize it, that's going to be a massive boost, just right there.
Yeah, and on the note of gaming, from what I've seen over this past year and a half, and this goes for any crypto project, if there's a way for it to be gamed, no matter how tedious it may be, it will be exploited. The lengths people will go through to grab money, if it's even cents a day, they will do it. And I think it's pretty sleazy. However, it's impressive the lengths they'll go through. So, that being said, there was another point I want to make, but I forget exactly what it was. Anyway, look into documentaries on counterfeiting if you want to see how something like gaming the system can affect the overall ecosystem, the overall cash flow.
Gaming, Joe? You want to play War Thunder?
No.
Nothing wrong with War Thunder.
I just downloaded it.
It's a good game, yeah.
I think that's what he was referring to. Anyone got a Things IX Discord invite? I'll get that for you. I'll post that in the chat. Or Joe will post it if he has it already.
You post it.
All right.
I don't want to bring up my Discord. Yeah, so while we're on that note, we'll also talk about Crank, and I'm not sure what your opinions on this are, Jules, how much you looked into it. But
I haven't really looked into it.
Yeah, I really like what they're doing as far as proof of coverage, or what they're trying to do. And it is similar in a sense to Helium. There's multiple levels to it. So all the hexes, the resolutions are going to go away, and the your score of your hotspot is going to be based on redundancy. So
Okay.
all LoRaWAN traffic, whether it be for the Crank network or any other LoRaWAN network, is going to be processed, and there's going to be like a local comparison with those hotspots to see how vast that coverage is, how much overlap that coverage is, and based on the significance of the useful coverage of the non-duplicate traffic is how high your score is going to be and how much you're going to earn. So I think that is an excellent idea. It certainly helps to deter gaming, and it helps to provide useful coverage, and people get a fair shot at what at earning, and are further incentive. Now it's going to be hard for them to understand, which I just think people in general that get involved in this stuff don't pay enough attention to the actual system and how it works, and try to make an effort to learn what's best for their setup, and you end up with a lot of FUD. So I did offer the developer to give them guidance and help them develop some of their PR and documentation around what I've experienced with Helium. I think they have a lot of good ideas. So I'm keeping my mind open to both Things IX and Crank.
Cool. I don't know if Crank's available here though. I'm not sure. I'll have to check into it.
I said we'd keep it short, Chris.
Oh, we're talking about that stuff?
Yeah.
The stream.
Yeah, talking about that.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I'm a little buzzed right now, and I was just letting you go. So hopefully you guys were able to join the Things IX Discord. Did you make a video on them yet, or are you planning to make
a short video? Yeah, I'll probably make another one. We might end up taking clips of what we did here and repurposing them for another video.
Yeah, I gotta probably tomorrow, before like all the Christmas traditions begin, I'm probably gonna look at the live streams that we had, because that conversation we had, that 3-hour live stream was phenomenal. Break it up into like a couple 10-minute clips here and there. I think that'll be beneficial. Give me some content for the channel at least. That's what Son of a Tech does. He streams every morning, and then he takes clips from that and makes it into his videos, which is a really good idea. I'm not sure if he pays anybody for that. That'd be nice. I wonder how cheap that would be. Me too, Pineapple Express. I'm not talking about weed. No. I had a drink, guys. I had a drink. Oh, I guess this time, joke. Should I show the users my? Let's show them my shirt. I gotta flip my camera here because I think it's mirrored. Okay.
It's awesome.
Do you like it? You know who likes it a lot? My mom. She saw it and she was furious.
Biggest supporter.
Yeah. I'm definitely a user. What do you guys want to happen for the remainder of the stream? Do you guys want to see my coin collection, or should I save that first stream without Joe to spare him? Because he seems like he doesn't want to see it. We can play.
I'll see it.
I got some really interesting
stuff. I
stuff.
have a lot of information I wanted to cover.
We can still cover it, but I figured.
I want to ask Jules something. What do you think about? Do you know about Hive Mapper?
Vaguely, I've seen bits and pieces. I don't know too much.
Yeah, so basically they're trying to rival what like Google Maps does, but actually collecting the information. Well,
it looks interesting.
One of your favorite people from Helium sits on the board, I believe.
Yeah,
and is an investor, and they're using the Helium network. And I think Demo, it's the same case there.
It's another interesting idea with a lot of potential, but we just have to see what happens.
Yeah,
I've just lost faith with those guys. It's just
I get it. I certainly get it. And I called the moderators hall monitors in one of my famous videos there, and wow, how true that turned out to be. They can't handle the slightest bits of criticism, and when you ask for a direct response, you get bloviating and sidestepping.
Oh, that's right. I mean, I posted a couple of messages to some of their foundation members about the increase in denial lists in Australia, and just put a theory in there that because of the changes they've made to the witness ratios, it could be affecting that. And the amount of blowback I had from that is just ridiculous. You say anything that might be remotely negative and or remotely a problem, and everyone's just like, no, it couldn't be that.
Well, one of my biggest issues always was with the denial lists and all the cheaters on the network. You're saying there's, and this is admitted by moderators, by people in the proof of coverage anti-working group, that there's between 10 and 15% of hotspots on the network gaming the system. Now, take into consideration all the tweaks and all the hacks that they use to game the system, we're looking at an estimated 25% of the earnings going to gamers, and we're not seeing a significant upgrade in this denial list anytime soon.
It's a lot more than that, I reckon.
So we're the people who bought in and set up the infrastructure are getting screwed, and then moderators call it FUD when you bring that issue to attention.
Yeah.
What do we got here, Chris? Wow. Chris, if you're talking, you're muted.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Start all over again.
This is like 6 pounds of wheat pennies, this in the other bag, so they got a little bit of a premium on them. And I guess we'll go from, I guess we can start with the books and stuff. All right, so we got like Lincoln Cent. It's reversed. Of course it is. I gotta flip the screen. All right, so we got like Lincoln Cents. I got, and keep in mind, these books are actually not filled in that much. These are all the ones that aren't worth any money. So anything right here is like post 1965, which didn't have any silver in them, and then, you know, copper's worth absolutely nothing. So these are actually mostly empty because I moved them to different books, but I have like the nickels are filled out pretty well. I got all the nickels. I got wartime stuff, quarters, whole bunch of quarters stuff. Is MC here? Oh my gosh, MC, how's it going, man? Haven't spoken to you in so long. We're talking about a different type of coin tonight. Talking about some Roosevelt dimes here. So this is like every, wow, I have a lot filled in here. This is 1965 to 2004. Every single one of them, minus like 3. And that's like not even the interesting stuff, guys. Joe, I'm not even getting into the interesting stuff yet. Are you ready? You're muted, Joe. You're muted.
The Ledger of the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, so I got some Eisenhower dollars. I actually don't think I have this filled in very well, but I bought this. This is a Dansko type book, and these are expensive, so I just wanted to get it. I only got 2, but don't have a lot of these. I'll put that aside. This is probably the most expensive in terms of everything inside, but then I'll get to that in a second. But this is all the pennies I'm doing all right. I got a lot to go here. Pennies from 1909 all the way up to the current date. So we got like in the 40s, they went to steel. So I got every mint from that. And there's slots in all these for the, once we get to a certain date, there's a slot for all of the proof ones, which are like shiny, real shiny. I got a couple of those. Like right here, you'll see. I don't have any of them for the pennies. I can see why you're into digital coins as well. Yeah, I think coins are super interesting. Hope we're not losing anybody on the stream for talking about this stuff yet.
I like your duck, Chris.
Yes, you know, I actually got this duck with the Creality 3D printer. So
Ducks are nature's rapists.
this is the most expensive book without a doubt in terms of the stuff that's inside of it. So this is a typeset book. If you guys don't know what typeset books, it's basically every coinage that is made for that particular country or whatever it may be. And the typesets vary. Sometimes they have typesets that are like 20th century, 19th century, stuff like that. So it can vary. And then different companies, like this is a Dansko book. This is the highest quality book you can buy. They have different options. So there's some stuff like you'll never see unless you're like a coin collector. Like this is a 3-cent piece. Like most people don't even know that exists. There's another 3-cent piece here, a 2-cent piece, which is 2 cents. It's kind of strange, some of the stuff that they have. This is the oldest penny ever made. The Flying Eagle. It was made from 1875 to 1858. Pretty neat stuff. Then we have some half dimes, which are not nickels. They're half dimes, which is the strangest thing. It blows my mind because they were produced during the same time that nickels were produced. So you can see why they stopped making them, because obviously nickels were already around. But this is a half dime, smaller than a dime, but it was commonly confused with the dime, so that's why they stopped making them. And this is from 1854, which is pretty cool. This is a shield nickel with no rays. It's just some variations of it. I got Liberty Head nickel. I'm sure a lot of people probably have these Liberty Head nickels. Mercury, Roosevelt, and Roosevelt. These are the most common dimes that you'll see in circulation today. Nothing's fancy about these. That's why it's half, exactly. Now are we getting into the expensive stuff? I think I have the expensive stuff in the safe. Anyway, then we come into quarters. Another weird thing, they made a 20-cent piece for a couple of years. 3 years. You can see why they discontinued it, because it was the same size as a quarter. Confused people again. This is an 1854 Liberty seated quarter. This is actually one of the more sought after ones. You guys can't really see it because it's a little too close, or it's a little too far away. Liberty Head, Liberty Standing, Washington clad. After 1965, they made them all silver. Pretty neat stuff. Kennedy dollar, we've all seen them. Peace dollar, pretty cool. Then this is like the bicentennial stuff, so I'm still trying to get the dollar coin. I showed before. I still haven't broken these out of the packages. I actually got these a couple of weeks ago, right before I was moving. This is Litecoin, a little Litecoin 1-ounce silver round, which I thought was pretty cool. I ordered a Bitcoin, or I wanted to order a Bitcoin one, but they were out of stock. Got Ethereum right here. So it's pretty cool. And you can see on the other side, it has just like Ethereum. And then it's a Dogecoin one. And on the other side, come on. You can see it's like the little dog. Pretty neat stuff. Pretty neat stuff, guys. Joe, you look really entertained right now, so I'll keep going.
I am advertising your stream, bro.
Awesome, dude. I appreciate it. All right, so now we're getting into the expensive stuff. If I can open up my safe. There we go. This is the stuff that you guys came to see. Let me tell you. Actually, I have one book that's in here that's really not worth anything. Susan B. Anthony's. No one really cares about these, but I just have like a couple here and there. Actually, I put Susan B. Anthony's and Sacagawea dollars in here because they're the same size. Whatever, doesn't matter. Put that aside. Here are the expensive ones, guys. We're getting into it. I know you guys are getting excited. Joe is ecstatic right now. Are you ready, Joe?
I'm ready.
Can you guess
I'm ready. Let's fucking do this.
Guess what I have in my hand right now?
I don't know. Your cock?
No. Close. 4 PCGS Proof 70 silver dimes. I paid too much for these. I saw them on eBay and I wanted them. The cool thing about proof coins is you can see like they're shiny.
Wow.
Yeah, you see that glare right there?
Amazing.
So,
never been touched.
So pretty neat, yeah. Taken basically from the mint, put in these protective cases, and this is silver. These are all pieces of silver, so it's worth more than just the average dime. Pretty cool. So I have 2003 through 2000. 6 in order. Got them all. Can we see that duck on the left-hand side? Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is a duck. It has a tuxedo put on it with masking tape. My friend did that when she was bored. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool. Just gotta have to. All right, guys. Here is all of my voting. I'm kidding. I'm not showing that. It's all my voting information. Oh, I forgot about. All right, this is the cool stuff. This is the real cool stuff.
I can see myself on screen there.
Don't make any faces. I have a lot.
Can't make faces like a YouTuber, like all the dumb.
These out there. Well, this one's pretty neat, but it's just kind of not worth anything. I have some duplicates, so I'm not going to bother showing those. This is the Holy Grail. I'll get to that. All right, let's get into it, gentlemen.
Let's do it.
This is the last little show because other stuff is it's just like more books. And it's not really like cool collector stuff. Let's make sure I got these in order of like coolest to these cool. Okay. All right. So this is a gram of gold.
Wow.
Yeah. It's about $100. It's about $100. Very tiny. I kept it in the bag and in the package. Pretty much, it's just kind of an investment. Like crypto, you kind of just hold on to that stuff just in case. It's kind of, it's just like a just in case kind of thing.
You're prepping.
What'd you say?
You're prepping.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot when our financial system goes bust.
So I got a couple grams of weed. That's nice. That's
I wish I did.
That's a good. This is what is this? This is a 19. Is that 19? 1844. What is this? 1844 large cent. So I used to make cents instead of penny. God damn, this camera is awful. Let me see if I can get.
Is that a peso? Right, it's a
No.
619 OTA.
It's not a peso. Let's see if this. Oh, turn it. What just happened? Oh,
Nothing,
cool.
bro.
I think
You're
my
doing good.
flashlight quite literally died on my phone. All right, there we go. You guys can see that bad boy.
Nice.
1844. Pretty cool stuff. All right, set that aside. I just thought this was cool because I threw the javelin. This is actually an Olympic 5 euro from Finland, and it's just a guy throwing the javelin. Of course, this is not working. A guy throwing the javelin. Worst camera. You guys can't see it. Sorry. Not my problem. This is just some. What is this? This is a 5 franc from France, and this is a silver bicentennial. Some not so cool stuff. Let's get into the cool stuff, guys. All right. I know that's why you guys are here. We got 9 people.
Why we're here.
So we got 9 people in the stream. You guys didn't come for crypto. You came to see my coin collection. Starting off with number 1, this is actually pretty new to the collection. This is a 2022, and it's the last year that you'll ever be able to get one of these guys. This is a 2022 Maple Leaf 1 ounce silver. So pretty neat. And you're never going to get it with Queen Elizabeth ever again. So this might actually go up in value because it was the last year that they were ever made. This is a 1986 American Prospector. It's just like a different type of coin. 1 ounce silver. It's called a American Eagle Engelhard. I think that's what it is. Engelhard is the manufacturer. They make some pretty nice stuff. Set those aside. And these are more traditional coins you can get in the U.S. This is a 2021. Oh my gosh, what is it? Just 1 ounce fine silver, $1. So it's a standing Liberty dollar. Is pretty much what they're called. Pretty neat. There we go. Nice and focused for you guys. And this one's a little bit older. It's got some wear and some blemishing on it. This is from 1999. Same exact coin, different design on the back, very slightly different Actually, it's completely different. Let me take that back. This is my pride and joy. I spent like $300 on this thing. This is called a trade dollar, and it's minted in the United States. It was made in 1876. I'll bring it up closer so you guys can see. It was made in 1876, and this was to counter the foreign coins that they used for trade. And this actually had a variable dollar amount. So this could be valued from anywhere from, I think it was $1 to $5, depending on the trade. Oh, geez. Depending on the trade. And it's kind of rare to find them in this condition because most of the time when they were used in China is where they usually used, they would stamp them, and that would indicate that they had value. And this one doesn't have any stamping on it, so kind of unique. I thought that was pretty neat. This is the most expensive coin in my collection. This is a 1/4 ounce of gold, and this is King George from 1914. So I'll show you guys the front. If it loads or if it clears up. It's not clearing up. Son of a gun, I gotta get the flash. All right. There we go. You can kind of see it a little bit better. Then on the back is a little horsey.
Horsey.
If it ever look. Oh, come on. Focus. This is ridiculous, Joe. All right, whatever. You guys can look it up if you want to see it, okay? 1914 King George coin. That's it. Oh.
Nicely done.
Thank you, Joe. You
That's
don't
great.
have to deal with it anymore. It's over. Everyone's seen them.
Nice.
If anyone missed out, just rewind. Not my problem. Not showing it again.
Oh, we can do it again.
Yeah. I have one more, and I feel.
Oh, no.
I actually have a bunch more, but whatever. This one is.
Never. Welcome to the chat.
This one's Lion King, which is pretty cool. 1 ounce silver. Pretty neat stuff. You guys ever
Never
try
was a
Rodney?
helium mod. You missed it.
Old coins
Never-
are neat.
we-
Have a couple.
we-
Oh, I didn't even get to the
We
silver
have
certificates.
Jules, also known as Jules 22 in the helium Discord.
Joe, I didn't even get to the silver certificates, man. I forgot I have 2 binders of other coins that I didn't even get to talk about.
You can do it on next stream. Did you guys want to talk about 5G at all? Do you care? Quick comments? No, don't care for it.
I think it's interesting, but I don't think it's going to serve much purpose other than just filling out small black spots that no one could be bothered filling in.
Yeah. So working in the space that I do, my company stands up Wi-Fi for big venues, and I've said this many times. You guys are probably sick of me hearing it. For the past 6 years now, we've been hearing the open 5G push, specifically from these manufacturers of wireless equipment, Ruckus primarily. We've heard a little bit from Cisco and some of the others, but we can never really find any demand for this type of coverage in the enterprise space. Now, maybe Helium will find that demand with the public, with the very cheap crypto carrier. You know, we know everything's going to IP-based connectivity. Apple, their messaging platform is not necessarily, it's integrated with SMS, but it's not necessarily SMS. So like the Neanderthals like me who have an Android, when we're messaging back and forth, you're not getting the check marks and the green status symbol and all that. That's because it's still SMS. Now, will that be available with Helium 5G? I don't think so. So you'll have to rely on stuff like VoIP and an alternative messaging platform unless you have SMS. Do you think it will revive Helium? From what they say, once 5G has a customer base, then IoT should come along as well. I think those are two separate. I think those are two separate equations. One's not necessarily reliant on the other. And as far as 5G IoT side of things, those are, when you talk about IoT, it can or can't, it does not necessarily have to be IP-based connectivity. Like with LoRaWAN, the devices that you have on the LoRaWAN network do not have an IP address assigned to them. Now, when you're talking about smartphones, computers, etc., they do have an IP address. There are certain IoT devices that require an IP address, and if you're talking about like this whole what's it called, metaverse, interactive IoT, whether you would call it augmented reality. So rather than digital reality where you experience it from your living room, augmented reality, if you have some sort of alternative Oculus type of device, you walk around or you're playing like Pokemon Go or something, you're able to see the digital signage and all the digital interactions on the street, etc. But that's going to take a pretty high throughput type of link. Now, can you do that with 4G and CBRS? Possibly, but a lot of this is going to be incumbent on 5G, in my opinion. And we do have competitors in the space now. They don't necessarily have the same model that Helium has. And back to what I was saying, we can't find, at least in the space that I'm in, the need for open 5G. Companies just they want Wi-Fi 6, but Amazon is standing up their own private open 5G CBRS network. So whatever they see, there is possibly a use there. Pollen's going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a private CBRS deployment. So people who want to utilize this service for whatever reason it be, they can utilize the Pollen network. There's also going to be XNet. And much similar, I haven't read too deep into who their primary customer is, but they're doing the open CBRS type of deployment based on cryptocurrency. Now, why do we do this based on cryptocurrency rather than fiat money? Because there has always been this ISP in a box model that's existed. There have been these type of campaigns in the past before, but it's never come to fruition. And it's because the customer base is not going to pay enough money to actually make it profitable to stand up this type of infrastructure en masse. Whereas if you're speculating on a token or a coin that's cryptocurrency, there's a possibility during the bull run, there's just going to be so much value piled into that coin that you can cash out, earn that back, and be profitable, that there's going to be long-term speculation, and there's that holding that cryptocurrency will bring you back into the green long-term. Now, once again, not financial advice, not something I'd be comfortable gambling with, but this is interesting, and once again, something I think has to be tried to see if there's any type of future in this type of ecosystem, this type of economy. And
yeah, it's definitely highly speculative. Yeah,
and it's the same thing with these other type of devices. We have Demo, Hive Mapper, 2Blocks, another one that Chris and I have been approached by. Pi-Fi, we know the development team pretty well. I think this is a different Pi-Fi. So
yeah, I think it's Pi-Fi.network.
Regardless, these data-based products, not database, data-based, where data is the product that they're selling, that's what we're collecting as, if you want to call us investors, miners. But Demo, I believe they have some deep links to Helium, also using the Helium network. What you're doing here is similar to what you'd be doing with Waze, where you're collecting the traffic flow, the analytics of what's taking place on the road. Or, okay, is there a cop here? Is this street off limits? Is there a slowdown? And then you have Hive Mapper, which is the dash cam. Now you're building out something similar to Google Maps. You're taking the imaging as you drive by, and that's being compiled into one massive map.
And those make sense. I mean, Demo and HiveMap are definitely, there's big markets for data, there's big markets for mapping. Those both make sense. So I can definitely see the value in those. Whereas the 5G, I just don't see. I don't see as much of a value proposition.
Well, since 619 OTA mentioned it in the comments, we got a Helium Network status investigating all. Our API provider has let us know that there's currently an API outage, so data displayed on Explorer, Helium Hotspot app, and Helium Wallet app are behind about 200 blocks. Paradigm Tech, Lil Stanky writes, at Paradigm Tech, I'm not really sure on the whole Helium 5G. Just feels like a repeat of the small miners, but now with 5G miners that are thousands of euros.
That's how I view it. And I'm sure that's how thousands of people view it, because when Helium first started, their whole thing was like didn't even mention 5G. It was like a blip on the radar, and they said like, we're all IoT. That's all we want to do. Everyone got into it. Everyone was interested in IoT, and then all of a sudden, they're like, all right, never mind. We're going to be 5G.
Well, 5G came along very quickly.
Yeah.
It was, I believe, either April or May of 2021 that 5G was announced and Freedom 5 came about, but they didn't actually announce proof of coverage for 5G, which is why I canceled my order. And back then, it was said that the actual earnings of 5G CBRS hotspots would be equivalent to that of the data transfer that takes place on them. Now, that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me back then. That's why I canceled the order. Now that they've mentioned this whole sub-DAO system and mobile and how there's going to be 5G proof of coverage, which I believe is up for a vote recently. I'm not sure if we're still voting on that.
I don't even pay attention to votes anymore. They're all so rigged, it's not even worth looking at.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I feel the same way. And I've proposed what I think would be an excellent alternative to the current voting system. All you have to do is pair the current system with one hotspot, one vote, and that would alleviate so much concern that we have and further deter what I believe is going to be a major issue, like a last minute whale vote that completely tips the scale in one direction or another towards one group's interest, with no time in the vote left for another whale or the community to realize that they need to go vote and undo that. That is going to wreak havoc within the community, and you heard it here first.
You guys
They'll never do it.
Yeah, you go. It's all right.
What's that, Joe?
They'll never do it. I mean, it's they've got all the power. It's a fallacy that it's a decentralized, project. They're fully centralized. Even looking at, and sorry to go back to the Australian situation again, but it's the example I've got. It's a very pertinent one. They promised us a vote. They realised they weren't going to win the vote, so they just turned around and changed the rules. I mean, it's a completely centralized organisation. They just do what they want.
Yep. And that was the biggest issue with the denial list. Now you're going to implement this. You're just going to push it through without any vote being taken, and give the reasoning that, well, if they know the denial list, they're going to understand who is or how we're figuring out that they're cheating. Come on.
They're not figuring out shit.
Oh, yeah, that,
there's so many obvious ones still out there, and they're still getting so many people that are doing the right thing. They're getting so many false positives. All these obvious gaming clusters are still going.
Well, there was a very humorous false positive. Now, I'll not name names on here, but whether it was a false positive or not, the whole situation reeks to high heaven.
Yeah.
And we know how rife with abuse those alpha program miners were. That it's unreal how badly those were abused, and how all of us waiting for our equipment got screwed while these people raked in hundreds of thousands of dollars, and were able to just go augment their deployments by, buying a Raspberry Pi, a concentrator, and dumping all that data UDP 1680 right to a miner in Amazon Web Services or DigitalOcean that never really had to sync.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris, you had a point before?
No, I was going to say, in the chat, everyone keeps mentioning Evergreen Miner, and I know it's just a Chia miner. Does it have any other? Is there any other things that it does, or is it just basically
the Raspberry Pi? And we're the only YouTubers that never receive one. But back to the denial list. There was no vote taken on it. All illusions of decentralization were lost during that time. And whether the community truly understands what decentralization is or not, if you're in the crypto space, that is one of the cornerstones of any project. And now that you've completely obliterated that vision, no one has any trust. No one has in the system. What do you have now?
I don't have a problem per se with centralized crypto. Yeah, if you're centralized and you say, look, up front, we're centralized, fine. But it's when they're pretending to be the people's network and all this garbage, and it clearly isn't. That's when I have a problem.
Jules, what's it like coming from the IoT and tech business side and diving into crypto?
Oh, look, it's like anything. You got a new industry that's got no regulation at all. You're going to have your good, you're going to have your bad, and it kind of balances out. And eventually, it'll get regulated, and eventually, things will start getting a bit more stabilized. But yeah, it's going to need that regulation for the mainstream to start coming on board. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Lil Stanky asks, why would you buy a 6 terabyte Evergreen miner for $299 when a 20 terabyte hard drive is cheaper? Ease of use is probably the best way to put it. It's just simple. It's
People like it off the shelf.
Yeah.
Being able to set up. That's it. Boom, we're done.
I mean, I'm interested in it. Not only... Listen, when I had my Chia setup going, I was running it off of an HP computer with hard drives plugged into it, and then I was running it off of my laptop with hard drives plugged into it with an external bay. And it was all over the place. It was so large and everything. So it'd be nice to have.
I'll be right back.
All right. It's nice to have these smaller form factor devices that are providing the same equipment. And also, when I was getting into Chia mining, it was like very right in the beginning. Pools didn't exist. It was all solo mining. The odds of you hitting a block were next to nothing. And someone just actually mentioned in a Discord server that I'm in about SC Prime, and I'm going to look at that as well because that's sort of a storage, offering storage, just like Flux is, Chia, SC Prime, Revelify wanted to do. There's a whole bunch of these storage mining, and they've had a good run in 2017, 2018, then they kind of died out, and it seems like they're making a comeback. And it's very cheap in terms of electricity for these things. You've been talking about gaming for a good year now. Yeah. Gaming is like the ultimate let's not talk about it kind of thing. Like, there's other things to talk about, guys. Let's talk about something else. Pretty much every time it's brought up.
I got to run, guys. Got to get some lunch. Thanks for having us on. Everyone, give Chris a big like.
Thank you.
Catch you guys later
on.
on. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Catch you later.
So yeah. All right, this guy says, but I'm not gonna lie. Voss lies about the earnings is definitely not $60 a month. If you
Paradigm, you ignoramus.
if he was talking about helium, I mean, he probably in the beginning he was making a boatload of consensus and everything, because he did hit consensus
All the time, bro.
If you could connect your external to Evergreen, then maybe I think you can. It does have USB ports on it, so. Voss lied about helium. He told me 5,300 a day. Jesus. Ideas for HDD would be a good discussion, especially with electricity. Yeah. Do you want me to play War Thunder? We're getting requests, Joe. I actually opened it when you first said the message, Patrick, but I had to install anti-cheat or something. Christmas, isn't it? Summer in Australia? Yes, the polarity is flipped after you go past the equator, so it should be summer for them. I'm loading up War Thunder, gentlemen.
I'm not. I ain't playing.
That's the spirit, Joe. Yeah, that's a good idea. Talking about the different types of hard drive mining. I'm going to definitely bookmark that and talk about it. Let me put it in here.
I'm done for the night.
You're done for the night?
What do you want to do? 10 more minutes?
I was gonna play video games for a little bit.
Go for it.
Oh, jeez. That's very loud.
Are you gonna play video games on stream?
Yeah, I can't hear anything. So I can't even. Oh, come on, man. There we go. All right. Hard drive mining. Chia, SC Prime, Evergreen, which is the Chia option. What other hard drive mining do you guys know about? If you can think of any.
Did someone say gaming? Anything that we can repurpose the helium contents would be good. There are plenty.
Yes. All right.
Not sure if you're going to be able to do it yet, and all that. The CM3 boards, maybe.
Why? I just want to change the volume. Looks like I'm loading into a game.
I'm late on eating a bunch of gummies. Hey, Filecoin, Chris, that's Paradigm Tech.
Filecoin, yeah.
619 OTA says, Akash, I don't know if that's still a thing. Hey, I heard a certain YouTuber told me that the Akash network would be joining the Helium network. Give me some inside information, bro. What's everyone's plans for Christmas? Will you be on my stream? The Christmas special, Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central?
Absolutely not.
Oh, you can screw off.
Joke. All right,
huge. It's huge. It's huge.
Sound. Let's turn the volume down to 10. Much better. Graphics.
Gummies, like edibles. Aha. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Apply.
I'll see you there, Crypto Crag.
Options. Graphics.
Xmas with the dog. I hear you.
Yeah, I got my dog right here. I don't know if you guys can see her.
Hey, I don't know what's the deal with our friends over in the blockchain bay. They don't join our live streams anymore.
Yeah, it's all right.
Ran off and got married.
Yeah. I have no clue how to. I'm trying to stream.
I look like a real YouTuber now, with the bad haircut.
Bad haircut. What are you talking about?
You're not a real YouTuber, Chris.
That's the spirit, Joe.
You don't chill hard enough, bro.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Dude, why isn't this working? I'm trying to set up.
If I'm not eating dinner, I'll be here.
All right, here's what we're gonna do, gentlemen.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, I gotta hide all my icons. I gotta share my screen. We're going in.
I've had it.
Oh, can you press add to stream? Would you mind? Perfect. All right. All right. I don't know what we're doing here. I've quite literally, last time I played this game, I think was like 4 years ago. Let me know how the stream quality is. I think it might be lagging a little bit. Excellent with the dog. Hey Chris, I was wondering what you had on the ceiling in front of your bed. Maybe I should do that. If you're talking about right there, they're like quotes, motivational quotes. It's from like one of my. I have 9 up there, and they're kind of taken from my favorite motivational video, as well as like some things I've heard. Like I had a surgery 2 years ago, and there was a quote that I heard during that time, and it kind of helped me through the whole process. So I have that quote up there, and as well as some things that people have told me I've written on top of the quotes. Do I shoot this guy? I don't know. Does that mean they exploded? Goals? Nice. Yes, yes. No, my goals are actually on a different wall. Oh gosh, that's a dude. It's dangerous to shoot him this close. All right. Oh, cool. We killed him. Uh-oh, that's not good. Huh. Not move during tank repair? Okay, I gotta wait. Have a good night, little Stanky. I hope you have a good Christmas. Dude, I would honestly rather play golf. Alright, let's exit this game. We're gonna play golf, gentlemen. This game can be a bit buggy. Cool thing about this game is people can actually play with you. We can start doing like Friday night gaming or something like that if you guys are interested in stuff like that, and we can do like a different game every week. Let's see. And we can also, oh, this is so loud. We can talk about, crypto while we're doing it. Should be nice. Let's do some, actually, let's just do local because some of these people are going to be annoying. Start. I'm thinking probably like 22. Welcome back, Patrick. I'm thinking you're like probably 22, 25. We know about crypto. How rich do you think we will get in the future? I'm actually 22. It's good. Good guess. Oh wow, this is. How rich do I think we'll get in the future? I have no clue. Honestly, it really it depends, because some of us are going to have good investments and some of us are going to be like not have good investments. For instance, some people are getting into helium now. There's still people getting into helium now. And that's going to negatively affect their, oh geez, I think it's RF. A reset here. Interesting. Too many people don't know about crypto. Yeah, I agree. Jeez, there's so many people I've talked to, and they say they don't know anything about crypto, and then I'll talk to them for a little bit, and then they'll be like, "Oh, have you heard of this coin?" And it's usually a silly coin, Dogecoin or something. It's like, yeah, and Dogecoin gets people into crypto, but it's not. the only use case is that it's well known. In my opinion, I mean, what do you think, Joe?
619 OTA writes, what happened to those 2 to 3 million hotspots on back order? I don't know, but I can tell you, going into this massive Solana NFT minting of hotspots, I'm sure there's some serious butthurt going around that they can't say that they're doing a 1 million hotspot, 1 million NFT minting.
Yeah. I still can't believe they're actually going over to Solana, whatever. It's just not a good crypto. I really am not a fan of it. I made a video you guys can see on my channel. I was like, Solana just dug themselves a grave because they quite literally paused their blockchain over issues. And I think it was similar issues to what Helium had. Do you remember, Joe? Like there was like a week on Helium where their network was like straight, or like their blockchain was straight up down, and the amount of HNT per day distributed was off significantly too, because there was a block that was like too large and the network couldn't handle it. It was really weird. Solana had to do something similar. I think they had a block that was large or something. It was like a messed up block, corrupt block, whatever it may be. I don't even know how that kind of stuff happens, but they've shut down their network so many times, and that just proves centralization. I don't know why anybody would support that cryptocurrency. To be fair though, I did buy it when it was cheap, and if I would have sold, I would have made some money on it. I didn't though, unfortunately. I don't know what that button is to skip. Seems like you care more about the NFTs than IoT. Yeah. All right, Joe, I'll finish out this course. We can call it. Just got a couple more holes left. Hey, oh, wow, I'm not good at this. There's got to be a way to reset. Oh man, I'm not doing good on this one at all. Oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna stroke out on this. "22 and don't have much friends that know crypto. When I try to talk about it, they just think it's a scam / casino. So maybe I think we're really into very early into crypto. What do you think?" I mean, how many people have you heard say a project is a scam or something is a scam, and then it blows up, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh no, I was a part of it the whole time." It's just people. I mean, a lot of the times the people are saying this is like not a legit sector. Let's see what this is. Because okay, that didn't. Oh, I guess it did work. Because they don't know about it, and also they want to fit in. And
welcome to the stream, Duff.
Yeah, welcome, Duff. And to fit in, it's like to fit in is to say that it's not cool, whatever. Yeah, it's a scam. It's a scam. I don't make it past 10 strokes. Don't know what you're referring to. They changed this game so much since last time I played it. It's like
I had a stroke.
Nice job. I'm on hole 7. There's 18 holes. I'm actually on hole 8 now, so we're almost halfway done.
How many holes are there?
18.
Don't try to fuck them all.
Nice. That was a beautiful attempt right there. Let's see how I can do this. So I think I'm just going to launch it. Oh, wow.
Oh!
Wow. That's how we do it here on the Chris Bagnell YouTube channel. Let's go, par. All right, guys. Keep in mind all the negative shit that gets highlighted. Yeah. I mean, especially with FTX right now. That's like negative. Fox News today, I saw on the gym, they have like every news channel to appease every party, but Fox was right in front of my bike, and they were like, crypto collapse was like the header. It's like,
Fox News is usually better on cryptocurrency than the Communist News Network and all of them.
yeah, it's just like they know what they're saying is going to get the views, and it kind of bothers me because crypto is not like it's a bipartisan. Come on, it's a bipartisan kind of interest. It's not like a one way. Like,
Well, it's
where you
only
can
old
say-
people watch those channels, so they got to pander.
Yeah, but then you have old people that don't like crypto because of this. So, and I don't know what the purpose of bashing crypto is, to be honest with you. It's the people. It's the people. It's not the industry. The industry has huge potential. So if you guys want some like news, I actually have, I'm not sure how many people are in my Discord server. There might be a couple of you guys not in, but I have a role that you guys can toggle in the server to receive news, and it can kind of get annoying, so you might want to mute it, but it will give you a stream of news through the day, everything crypto. So I have, a bot that posts important links, as well as this is going to go in the hole, as well as, wow, this is weird, as well as Watcher Guru, which it tweets out. All right, Joe. All right. We're almost done. Oh, this is going to be a pain. Man, I love crypto. Oh, ouch. Over $3 per kilowatt hour for Max today. Wow. That's insane. To remind him the world is
I just seen
scary
that.
and unknown, to keep your retirement funds with the bankers. Man, I love crypto. That's why my name is Paradigm Tech, because the paradigm of money will occur with crypto. Is this Marvels? No, this is Golf with Friends.
What's up, Devo?
Isn't Devo a helium mod, or was a helium mod?
Yeah, he's helping me appeal my ban.
Nice. I appealed bans for you guys a couple times. I got them to unban. I think they unbanned you. They didn't unban Steve because
No, it was Lloyd Christmas.
Oh yeah,
I've only been banned once since the perma ban. I'm not getting unbanned.
Yeah, that sucks.
They wanted me gone. And it was a BS reason for what they did.
Do you want to explain, or is this something you don't want to talk about?
Okay, I wrote commies and Hajis need freedom in response to someone posting some military GIF. And the reason being is racism and threats of violence. Now, I know this is hard for some people to comprehend, but communists and jihadists come in all colors, all races. So I don't understand how it's racism, nor was there any threat of violence there. But I guess you can...
That's
I don't
stupid,
know.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got banned from the RoboFi Discord, and they never told me why, which sucks because I'm soon to be a hotspot owner, so...
Yeah, Keenan and Dumpling Girl are the two biggest idiots in the foundation.
Oh man, Dumpling Girl. I've dealt with so many of those mods, and some of them are just straight up disrespectful. It's very annoying. Disrespectful.
They're on a power
and,
trip. It's the first
Yeah.
time in their life that they've had any power. I guess you can interpret things however you want, but yeah, I'm not too happy that my name is being smeared as a racist or someone who threatens violence, because that was not what I did, nor was it the intention. But hey, But you know how Steve said that there are that we should find the cheaters and rip out their toenails if we ban their hotspots?
Yeah.
I think they took personal offense to that.
Ah, yes, because they're cheaters.
And we know that for a fact.
Darn.
We know that there were certain people on the inside cheating, and it's not just from the article that was posted.
I'm going to try and parkour this.
Hardcore parkour. All right, I'm about to get off here and go clean some more.
All right, Joe.
So, 7 p.m. Sunday night, Christmas special.
On
See
Joe's
you all
channel.
there. It's
On
been
Joe.
fun.
I'm going to keep going until I finish this. So if you guys want to stick around, still talk a little bit crypto.
Later.
See you, Joe. I wonder if I can ran out of shots. Fantastic. I think a lot of things are wrong due to the way, due to language barriers as well. Not saying that an offensive decision for your band. Yeah, there is always the language barrier, which a lot of people forget about. I'm probably not gonna finish this. Maybe I need to wait for it to go below. I'm trying to cheat here. I don't know. Chris is playing golf at the pickle park. Chris, are you a programmer? No, I wouldn't say I'm a programmer. I programmed before, but I'm not like I wouldn't consider myself a programmer. A lot of the stuff that I do is like just following tutorials or stuff like that. Oh, all right, we're good. We're good. What a shot, gentlemen. I don't know what I said, but I got banned for 3 days for no reason, and then someone deleted most of my memes, so I could care less about helium and those kids. Yeah, a lot of them are young. I think I had some beef with that guy with the green hair, BFG Neil. I think he was kind of disrespectful at one point. I might have just misread it, but I mean, like, it's hard to read sarcasm over chat, but I feel like I had an issue with that guy. Then he ended up getting in big trouble because he showed a hotspot before it was supposed to be released. The sense cap, like data only hotspot that I have, he ended up showing it before it was released. Where the hell am I going? All right. How do I guess I press C again? I have no clue how to reset. I wish I. Oh, maybe it's that. Oh. The stream is lagging behind. It's like 3 minutes behind. At least it sucks. Yeah, I joked it's all gone when people were asking my prices were dropping and mods were doing anything about the price talk. Yeah. Can't talk about helium price. God forbid. This is ridiculous. Yeah, Joe, I wonder if StreamYard is just like acting up because we had those issues earlier. There we go. Oh, come on. I'm not going to get it in time. Well, I'm over stroked out anyway. There we go. All right, cool. 3 more holes. Oh, 4 more holes. Come on. That's so stupid. Oh, man. By the way, Chris, thank you for never warning back then. You saved me and canceled my order. Yeah, no problem, man. Nebra, I had a Nebra on order, and yeah, I canceled it once I found out that information. And I'm glad I made this video too. It not only got a lot of traction on my channel, but it was insane how many people in the Helium Discord and everything were bashing me for those videos. So like it's all FUD and all this stuff. Come to find, I was right. It's usually what's happening. I think a lot of people are starting to notice. For the most part, I have a pretty positive track record. I've said a couple of things here and there that haven't been entirely accurate, and that's just part of me not scripting my videos out. It's just me talking naturally, which has its pros and its cons. It seems like I'm just like actually having a conversation with you guys versus seeming kind of forced. What on earth is happening? Oh, low gravity. Fantastic. Fantastic. No clue what's happening. Good night, Patrick. It's nice for you. Thanks for stopping by on the stream. Hope you have a good holiday if you celebrate. I think most people haven't gotten theirs. Yeah, like nobody's gotten theirs. Their devices. Oh, you're kidding me. All right, let's just go. Let's just follow the flow here. Oh, what a stupid. I know a couple of people still waiting for no bras / court cases. I'm not oh, no bras, never. That's funny. Oh man, this is impossible. This is the issue I have with these golf games. All right, I think I understand what I have to do now. Oh, come on. Unreal. Well, let's try bouncing. Hey, I did it. All right. All right. Looks like I'm not going to make it in time, I don't think. 7 seconds. Let's line up the shot, gentlemen. Oh my gosh. I ran out of time. This is so stupid. Yeah, I made the same thing with Synchrobit too. Same video. Why are these holes incredibly complicated? Nice, nice. Still have no clue where I'm going. Almost done, guys. Almost done here. The pain's almost over. Oh, you're kidding me. All right. All right. Oh, I see there was wind there. That's why it wasn't working. Is this going to put me in the hole? Dude, where am I going? All right, we're close. We're getting close. I think I have to wait for this ramp. Yep. There we go. All right. Let's hit that. And I missed because I suck. You guys doing anything cool for Christmas? Let me know what your guys' plans are if you're celebrating. You know, I know we're not going to be having a stream tomorrow night, but yeah, it was a fun couple of days streaming every night with you guys and with Joe. It was really nice having you guys come out here. And I enjoy streaming around the holidays because I don't have a lot of things to do. Not sure about you guys. All right, let's take this left one. What the hell's down there? Void of space. I got lucky that I ordered my Nebras through Helium Deploy, so you actually got them. Did you get them? Man, I remember the days when I got $500 from mining helium every month. Now it's just cents. Makes me cherish those days. Hope we get there again. They switched me with cents caps when delays happen. Oh, okay. Oh, I remember that. Seeds, no, was it Parlay Labs had a similar thing too. You could refund and get a Nebra, or you could get a Sense Cap, which were in stock, or you could just wait it out for the Nebra. I think eventually they just decided to push everyone to Sense Cap because they were superior devices and they actually had them. And I think people might have actually even gotten refunded because they were cheaper. A partial refund. Pickle Park. Nice, Joe. Oh, you're kidding me. All right, so now I know I just gotta launch it. Nice. 10 seconds to spare. That's it. All right, guys. Let me end this game. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap this up? I launched the member thing. I launched a 99-cent tier because I think that's more reasonable for prices. I think I had a $3.99 tier that I launched, but it wasn't like finally got it to go live. But I'm thinking to myself, like, people are paying $8 a month for Twitter. They're paying like $15 a month for Netflix. $15 for Amazon Prime, $15 for Spotify, Disney Plus, all these things at $15, and you're getting a boatload of content worth. And with me, I feel like I wouldn't have as much content, obviously, to provide. So, 99 cents. If you guys want to subscribe to my channel for the month, I would appreciate it. And we'll have some special live streams and stuff I'll kick in. And if you guys want like some special features, you already have your own custom emojis as well as some badges. So it's cheap. It's reasonable. It's way cheaper and more reasonable than a lot of the other options there. Joe says, one day I was playing pool with my dad's girlfriend. She said, Joe, just remember this woman like it in the hole before making a double shot. Nice. Nice, Joe. All right, guys. I hope you guys do have a Merry Christmas. If you celebrate it, I know I will be. And we'll catch you guys on Sunday night on Joe's channel for his Christmas Day extravaganza. Hope to see you guys there. Like he said, that'll be 7 p.m. Central Time. That is going to be 8 p.m. Eastern, as it has been with all the streams in the past. And yeah, thanks guys for sticking with us this whole Joe, you can't DM me this stuff while I'm streaming. That was funny. Thanks for sticking with us this whole week. This was actually really fun, and it helped me get into making content again, and I appreciate it. So hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, a great night. I'm gonna watch some TV and fall asleep with my doggo. So that's it. I'll see you guys in the next stream/video. Have a great night. See me in the Discord channel, which is also in the description below. This is the longest outro ever, but keep going. Let's go. We've been going for almost 2.5 hours. We got to end this stream, but join the Discord server. We'll be, we can talk in there if you would like to keep talking and stuff. Son of a Tech is live. Maybe we'll join over Son of a Tech stream. That's it, guys. Join the Discord server. It's in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great night. Peace out.